I can tell you a few stories.
Okay.
My father was a mechanic, and originally at Horse and Streeters in Muscatine. They worked on Dr. Baker's car. He had a Cord, and a Cord is a front-wheel drive car. And the front wheels, about 8,000 to 10,000 miles, would wear out the front bearings, so they'd replace the bearings all the time. So my father got to know Dr. Baker, and he found him to be a very likable individual. One of the stories I had heard about Dr. Baker, maybe someone's told about this, is the Muscatine Lighting Company. The Muscatine Lighting Company provided electricity for the city of Muscatine, and the city fathers decided that this wasn't a good operation, and they wanted to form the Muscatine Municipal Light Company. That's how the Muscatine Power and Light got started. Well, the only problem was they had to buy out the Muscatine Lighting Company. And as the story goes, they were $20,000 short of buying it. So Chap Hanley, who was the city attorney at that time, went over to Dr. Baker and said, we're $20,000 short. Dr. Baker said, well, that's no problem. Opened the drawer and threw $20,000 out on the desk, which Chap Hanley said, we can't take that. We'll take a note and we'll pay you interest. And apparently that's how they bought the Muscatine Power and Light Company, because he furnished $20,000. In trying to find his money, they went down to Mexico. His relatives said they went down and could never find any trace because they could never find any of his passbooks. And therefore, the banks down there wouldn't tell them anything about the money because no one had any passbooks. I do remember going out with my father and mother to Weed Park when they had the operation on his skull, when he supposedly removed a cancer from the head of the guy. And I sat in the park. I didn't know, I was a young kid, I didn't know what was going on. But supposedly he took the top of the guy's head off, removed this cancer, and supposedly sewed him up, which I don't know. I think it was a big farce. Probably a chicken liver or something came out, but I don't know. But anyway, that was done at the Weed Park out in the open. One of the stories I remember was Harold Ogilvy was a very prominent man in Muscatine, and when his father ran the Ogilvy I&I, which was down on 2nd Street, Harold was a member of a trio, and they sang at KTNT, and of course they didn't get paid for it. But they were very good singers, and they were invited by Dr. Baker to come up and sing, and they did. After they were done singing, the announcer got on and he said, now folks, if you're going to buy some flour, be sure to buy it from Baker's grocery store. Don't buy from Ogilvy's I&I because it's 10 cents a pound cheaper. And Harold went to him afterwards and said, hey, he said, I was on your radio station for nothing and you ran my father's store down. He said, well, don't worry about that. He got more publicity than he'll ever get all over. And that was a story about Harold Ogilvy. You all remember Harold, of course.
Yeah.